Morning. We have guest speaker Fiona Flyte in the house. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Good morning. If you're here, give us a shout out, say hi. Fiona and I are going to be talking about growing your social media. So you definitely don't want to miss this. We are going to be talking about ways that you can build up your social media so you can be ready to crowdfund and all the things. So just give us a second here so we can be sure that we are live in all the places. All right, we should be live on Instagram now. All right, Fiona, so great to have you on today. So excited. Last week we did a live with you, and again, you are a coach for musicians, music coaches, artists. You are a coach for yourself, and you also coach the business side. So you've been an artistic coach, you've been the business coach, and you're like a beautiful combo of all the things. So great to have you on.
And I'm a musician and an artist myself.
Exactly.
All the things.
All the things, as many of us are. We're the
Yes.
multifaceted type of industry that we're in. So we're here to talk about ways to grow your social media. And if you're here, give us a shout out, give us a hi. And the way, really, Fiona has been genius about this. And Fiona, I really want to preface this because I help people crowdfund. And a lot of people come to me and they're like, I want to crowdfund, or, today's the deadline for working with Rocket Fuel, who will help artists with zero down if you launch within 30 days, their crowdfund. But, they come to us and they want to crowdfund without a following. And a lot of people don't know where to get started when it comes to building a following. A lot of people will not qualify for the program today because they don't have a following. And so you guys will hear back today if you signed up for the Rocket Fuel Challenge, if you qualify today or not. And if you did not qualify, I would really encourage you to listen closely to what Fiona and I are going to say today, because it could literally make or break your next campaign, promo for your album, promo for your crowdfund. So listen closely, guys. So Fiona, with that being said, even if we do qualify for the program, we still want to continue building our social media and connecting in a way. What I love about you is you don't necessarily have a huge following. You don't have like 100,000 people or something, but you have such quality with the people that you do have in your community. It truly is. And I just talk to really your fans. They're your clients, but they're your fans. And they stick around for years because you are such a person of character. You truly do put everything you have into helping people build their social media, and you really go the distance with people. So I know that, and I've seen that with people who you work with. So that being said, let's talk about real magic. Let's talk about this. On last Tuesday, we talked about story, how people can really utilize their stories in their everyday life. Plus, that signature story that's around their project, whatever the next project is. So definitely go back and listen to last week's replay. Let's just review on that real quick, and then maybe we can talk about like what's the next step once you've figured out stories and different things.
Yeah, I'm really clear on what I want to jump into today. So I would just say, yes, go and watch the live we did about stories. Understand that everything in your life can be a story. I know a lot of the times people think, oh, my life is boring, but that's not true. It's like I had a revelation in the shower this morning, that I just shared inside a private community. It's like we're all just doing things. Your routine, that's a story. It's like who you are, what makes you up.
Yep.
Everything in your life is interesting when it's authentic, when it's real, when it's vulnerable. In fact, it becomes even more relatable when it's just the story, like I was talking about last week, of going to the dog park and what you realize about yourself and about social media from going to the dog park, because so many people walk their dogs or have a dog. So You don't have to have like some crazy traveling the world story in order to have a story. But what I want to talk about today, if it's okay with you, Jess, is consistency. How would you feel
Ooh.
about that?
Ooh, I love that. I love that because that can be scary for some people. Posting on social media consistently. I don't have time. I don't have resources. All the thoughts have gone through my mind. And so I'd love for you to talk about ways that we can make consistency easy, breezy, fun, connected, authentic, all of those things.
Exactly. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see artists making, especially when we're talking about promoting a release, promoting a new album, doing their crowdfunding, is that they expect the audience to be there in the moment that they make the release. And so behind the scenes, an artist spends a year, let's say, on a new album. Like they're pouring their heart and soul into the writing of the lyrics and the writing of the music, and maybe they're partnering with other artists to create the whole thing. Maybe they're working with a producer, or maybe it's a songwriting duo. Whatever is happening behind the scenes is like you're in it. You're birthing something really extraordinary, and you're just totally in it, and your audience doesn't know. Your audience has no
Mm,
clue about what you're doing behind the scenes, because it's all behind the scenes.
yep.
And then you're like, okay, I spent a year on this masterpiece, and it is a masterpiece, and you put it out there, and nobody is there to nobody comments, nobody likes, nobody views, or just a very few, that handful of people, because you didn't
Yep.
take your audience on the journey with you. And then this kind of circles right back to the storytelling piece. If instead, I'm going to give you the solution right now. If instead you shared your journey, the evolution of this masterpiece with people, with your audience and your growing audience, because people pop in at all different parts of the journey, then at the moment of release,
Hmm.
we're like, okay, this is so
Yep.
exciting. I have one of my clients right now is working on a crowdfunding campaign, and it is so far from where the album is actually going to be released. And I'm watching her and I'm getting excited with her. I'm really excited. And another client today just dropped a new release, and I'm so excited and lit up because of following the journey up into this point. And so that biggest mistake, and honestly, it's like the biggest, it causes so much disappointment and discouragement and like broken
Yeah.
dreams,
It
is
does.
when you poured everything and lots of money and time into the release, and then here you are, and here you offer it up, this incredible masterpiece to the world, and you hear crickets, and then you think, it's me, it wasn't actually a masterpiece. And oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
the part where my heart just cracks. It cracks in two for the artist that this happens to, because it is a masterpiece. It
Yep.
just is that social media doesn't usually, occasionally it does, but usually it doesn't reward a masterpiece simply because it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It rewards the consistency of sharing your stories, sharing the bits. And I can give you a whole bunch of like, what should you be sharing?
Yep.
That is what makes the people then be there in the moment when the release actually happens. And
Yeah.
then yay.
Yes. When people want to hear, when people are expecting to hear about your release versus the crickets. That's and I think that that speaks to me and that speaks to every artist here. What's the first step? What's
Okay, so I mean, honestly, the first step is simply to start showing up consistently. And so
yeah.
it's like you have to figure out for yourself. There's this beautiful thing I teach in one of my programs called the triad of change. I did not create the system. It was created by someone named Donald Epstein, giving credit where credit is due, but I love it and I work with it myself. So we're wanting to change a behavior here, right? We're wanting to
Yeah.
to make a change of, I don't post consistently, to I do post consistently. Within this triad of change, you have to figure out what is the thing that you most need. Is it the perception? Do you need to shift your mindset to take the action? Do you need more structure? So like you're gonna post at a certain time of day, or you're gonna batch on a certain time of in the week, or is it and do you need more strategies, or is it the behavior itself and you're one of those just do it people? I'm going to be consistent and I just make that, and then I do the perception and the strategy afterwards. So you want to look at yourself and say, okay, what do I need to shift in order to make this change in my life to become consistent? Now for myself, I'm always needing to start with perception. I need to it's my mindset. I've got to figure out, why do I want to be consistent? And then really fuel that why. So for me, I have to be consistent because I need to model what it is that I teach. Like that, to be in integrity for me means posting consistently. And today is day 75 in a row
Woo!
of a reel and a meaningful caption on Instagram and Facebook. So yes.
Way to go.
I
Love it.
I have to be consistent in order to be in integrity with myself in what it is that I teach. So that's thing number one. But then underlying that is, why do I even have an online business? And that goes to my deeper mission of helping artists and sharing my own voice and changing the world. Like, it goes that deep for me. But it's not just mindset. There's got to be structure and strategy. And so in the Real Magic program, which we want to be talking about today too, it makes it so easy for you to become consistent, because in the beginning, you're really concerned about your time because it takes you too much time. Like
Yeah,
literally,
exactly.
you spend hours to create a reel and you don't know how to do it in less time. So Real Magic solves that problem. One of the reasons that it takes so much time is because people are constantly overthinking their ideas. It's like, you've got an idea. Oh, but is it good? I'm not sure, but she did it. And then oh, no, it's not a bad idea. Okay, what's another idea? Instead of, I got the idea and now I'm going to act on the idea, and I'm going to trust that that idea is good or bad. It doesn't even matter, because
Right.
the next thing is just practice and iteration, just like an experimentation, just like for you as a musician, as an artist, you had to practice. But in the case of social media, we have to get better in public rather than in private. So if you're sitting on your content because it's like, oh, but the next one is better. Oh, that one, but I'll try again tomorrow and it'll be better. Well, yes, it's going to be better. It should get better. You're getting better, but you've got to do it in public instead of hiding it and waiting for it to be some level that, at the point you reach that level, there's still the next level. And this is the case for me. I'm constantly improving my content. The amazing collab reel that you and I made together, I'm thinking of how I could have tightened parts of the editing and how I could have made the script better. That doesn't mean that it wasn't a great collab reel, and everyone go watch it. It's so cute. It's so fun. And the next one's going to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and again, I could have I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not an actress, and there's so many things that went through my mind even filming that reel, and instead I just let it be what it is. I was like, oh, and people like really responded to that reel. There was a lot of views and a lot of comments, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny, this is so cute. So at the end of the day, like, what is your intention? Your intention is to connect with your audience. Your intention is to create consistency. Your intention is to be trustworthy. Consistency creates trust for people. That's the biggest thing, right? They know you're not going to disappear on them at some point. And, I've even had to do some inner work around that. Like, okay, I am a trustworthy person. I show up for people. Like, I had to tell myself these things, right? So, and I'm from California, so we're like the land of the flaky people. So I don't know if you've experienced that, but yeah, we get to be consistent and build trust with people in that consistency.
And we're building trust with ourselves with that consistency.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I am showing up. I am trustworthy, like in me. which is
Mhm.
even more important than what it is that we're projecting, because people sense truth. And so the
Yes.
more we're grounded in our own truth, then other
Mhm.
people are going to for sure connect with that because it is true.
Exactly. Well, and people sense authenticity, right? Have you ever like talked to someone and you're like, I just didn't believe them. I was watching Love is Blind. Have you guys been watching Love is Blind? One of the guys, I won't say who, but like from the beginning, I was like, I don't think he's telling the truth. Like he wants to believe what he's saying, but he just and sure enough, at the altar, couldn't go through with it. And the girl was heartbroken, man. It was just so sad. But how often do we do this? We're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but we just don't believe that we're trustworthy. We don't believe that we can actually do it. And so we get in our own way, self-sabotage. So anyways, I don't know if you guys watch. I don't really watch reality TV shows, but my roommates got me into this season, and I'm like such an analytical like psychology person. I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense. you know and so doing that for ourselves, right? We are trustworthy, we can build consistency. And if you haven't built that in your life, like start with social media. It's such a like easy way, especially with the tools that you provide, Fiona. It's such an easy way to build trust with your audience. So do you have anything else on building trust, or do you want to
Well,
go into that?
I want to describe the tools that are
Yeah.
included in Real Magic so that people can actually understand what is it that makes it so useful, and why does it solves the issue of not enough time, and will also solve the issue of needing structure. So I have people who have taken Real Magic and then said things like, I created a reel in 5 minutes. This is normal. The meme reels
Wow,
that
five
you and I,
minutes? That's not
yes,
that long. Good.
no, exactly, 5
Yeah.
minutes. And the reels that you and I published, collaborated on, the meme reels, those one took like seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm dropping a new bonus probably next week, all about how to create
Ooh,
those meme reels in seconds.
I
Like,
love the meme
okay,
reels. Oh my gosh, so you're gonna include that next week?
yeah, I'm adding a new bonus. So already
Oh,
you've got bonuses on, you've got a training on how to make the reels. You've got the like a full-on multi-hour masterclass on using reels to promote your new releases. That's the Reels Rockstar Masterclass that's included. But I'm dropping this new bonus. And the reason that I am doing that, okay, the way that the program is structured, you've got 200, and with the Reels Rockstar bonus, it's 250 prompts, scripts, templates, hooks, and ideas. So the reason that it saves you so much time is that you don't have to be thinking about you don't have to worry about getting the idea. You don't have
yeah,
to worry about, is it a good idea or not? It's just you go in and you're like, okay, that's the idea for today. I'm going to act on it. Or that's the script. And you just plug in a couple words
yeah,
that refer to your story instead of a generic story. And suddenly you've got a whole script for an original reel. But also in the program are 50 reels for when, I call them templates, for when you don't want to be on camera. And so in
mm,
that section, there's, how do you create these background, like behind the scenes, B-roll type reels? And there are templates where you just like, they're moving cool animated ones and you just change the text.
cool.
And there are ones for GIFs. And so at the time that I
Ooh,
created the program, the more sort of trending thing on Instagram was the like, Twitter kind of boxes with like a GIF inside of it.
right,
Now those still work. There's nothing wrong with them. But a new trend right now is more of these sort of big meme reels where it takes up the
yeah,
whole screen. And I was thinking, I'm starting to use these, and it's a perfect complement to what's already in the program. And I like my programs to evolve, and I just add the bonuses when the platforms evolve, because the platforms are always evolving. So
right.
I'm dropping that new bonus for like an extra piece of what do you do
Ooh,
on those days when you don't want to be on camera, but you want to put something out and you want to do it quickly.
I love that. I love the meme reels. Okay, so all of this is included, uh,
Yes.
and we have a special offer for my community until Saturday. So now my question is, are you going to add the meme reels next week to the actual back office, like when people purchase today? Which, by the way, this product is over $200 worth. Fiona's giving it to us for 37, and that's just until Saturday. So if you're someone who wants to have the what she just described, and are the bonuses coming in next week
Okay,
to
so
that same
what's
program?
in there right now is
Okay.
250 prompts, scripts, templates, hooks,
Okay.
ideas. Immediately you can take action. There
Okay.
are already, I think, 6 bonuses in there. The Reels Rockstar bonus masterclass, the Canva covers so that your grid can look all pretty, the
Okay.
Reels training, music library so you can quickly get a link like it's Christmas and you want a Christmas song, you just get that link
Okay.
right away. It's already a totally complete course. And I just decided last week, I'm going to add a bonus for making memes. I'm probably going to record that today and it'll be there sometime next week.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
that's my
that's
current
huge.
timeline.
Okay, awesome. So if you want some of this, comment magic in the chat. Comment magic in the chat. We'll get you the link for this, and it's only 37 until tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah. So definitely, if you're someone who is building your audience, building your consistency on social media, but you get overwhelmed by it, this is such a blessing. And we have someone say, I just signed up, missed the meme thingy. Yeah, the meme thingy is something to look forward to. Great discussion. So if you haven't gotten the link, comment magic in the chat, and we'll be posting the replay, so you can comment magic in the chat for the replay as well. And definitely don't want to miss out on this amazing meme thingy. I love how is that who is that? I can't see your name on the chat box, so thank you for joining us. But definitely comment magic in the chat. And if you have any questions about real magic, now is your time to ask them. Definitely put your questions in the chat. If you've used real magic already and you're joining us, I know Instagram is not working today, so we'll be posting the replay on Instagram so that you guys can see it. So for some reason it's slow. I think IG is just glitching all the. Oh, Sharon! Oh, Sharon! Yes. Okay, awesome. So yeah, definitely. This makes posting so easy. I'm so excited for you, Sharon, because I know it can be so daunting to post consistently, especially when you're about to crowdfund. Sharon's about to crowdfund. So I'm so excited for you because you can just use the plug and drop method here with Fiona's toolkit. And
And
again,
I just want
yeah,
to point out that it is completely customizable. So it's not like you're posting what I would post.
yeah.
It's really is a magic because I take all of the effort out of it for you, and yet you walk away with something that is completely your own, totally personalized and individual.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And that's what I love about the plug and play, right? It's like you can show your face, you can not show your face, it's all there. So any questions, guys? Any questions about social media? Anything that keeps you from posting that you want Fiona's perspective on? Because if you were talking to Miss Consistency right here, you were talking to Miss Consistency and Fiona. So 75 days she's been posting consistently. And again, I love that it's not huge. Like your following is not huge, but it is quality, man. Everybody I talk to from your community is like, Fiona is my girl. Fiona is my person. She is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And that's what you want in your fans. Like when people are like, Fiona, Jessica, Sharon is the best thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. That is when you know you've built trust with your audience. That is when you know the consistency has paid off, right? Because at first, I think, let's talk about at first, Fiona. At first, it feels like you might be talking to yourself Is
Yeah.
that true?
I mean, for sure. And honestly, I don't think that ever changes. I really honestly don't. Even the people that I know with, I mean, gosh, Instagram, if we're going to be honest, Instagram is a hard place right now. And it's not just you, whoever is watching. It's pretty much everybody feeling like, how do you stand out on Instagram with all of the suggested and all of the
Yeah,
ads that you're seeing? Like, unless you have, unless you remember to like press the little button on the top that shows you just your feed, you're
right.
seeing a ton of people that aren't even people you follow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so the big creators, 100K and beyond followers, are feeling the same things. It's
Mm,
just that the numbers are different. So if
yeah,
you've got, like, for me, I get 100 likes on a post, I'm like, wow, that's
yeah,
amazing. If you look at the percentage, it's like that could be 1,000 for somebody with a larger audience.
right.
And so if you've got 100,000 people that are following you and you only get 1,000 likes, it's like there's 99,000 people didn't like this, is how you feel when you got that 1,000 likes.
Mm, that's
And
true.
like that
99,000 didn't even like it.
99,000 people. So
Oh gosh.
did not like this post. And so
Yeah,
you can see how it's all mindset. I mean, it's huge.
yeah,
And so sometimes I'll have a conversation with someone that has a larger audience, or I'll just see what they're talking about on their own social media when they're being very, very vulnerable and authentic. And
yeah,
it's like, man, I'm putting out so much effort and I'm not seeing the payoff here, which is
right.
why, and actually this is something I'm going to be posting about myself today. I already wrote like 2/3 of the post, but I'm kind of sitting with the ending for a second. And it has to do with having a much bigger reason for showing up in the first place, because you do not owe your audience content and your audience does not owe you their attention, which
Yeah,
means that there has got to be a much deeper, more authentic, more real, more, you know, mission driven reason for you to be doing this in the first place.
right, right. And that has to keep you going, right? When the
Exactly.
discouragement comes, when you feel like you're talking to a wall, when you feel like nobody's responding, like your why, and that's why we talk so much about story, signature story, for those of you who have been through my program. Your why and your story is what keeps you going. And nobody can negate your story. Nobody can be like, well, that's not true. It's because it's literally your experience. So your story is so, so powerful. And your why, like you said, like your mission, your purpose of doing this. So how do you remind yourself, Fiona, of your why? And I'm gonna plug my computer in real quick, so don't mind me. Something's gonna fall down.
Yeah,
How
that's
do you
it.
remind your audience of your why?
How do I remind my audience or myself?
Yourself.
Yeah,
Yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's something that I live with. I mean, it's an interest, like, how do I remind myself of my why? I have lots of different sort of ways in. Like, I journal, and I meditate, and I sit in the feelings of it.
Mm,
But on I think that we're jumping ahead to the how do I remind myself of my why, and we need to back up to having a why. What is your why?
mm.
So it's like,
So so
before I post, if I'm not feeling inspired, then I think to myself, okay, but what's your why? And then I remember what my why is, because it's like you know what it is once you've taken the time to really dive in there and do that work to figure out what that deeper compelling why is. Then it's there, it's always there, and
nice.
it's about remembering to lean into it when you're
Yep.
feeling disappointed or discouraged.
I love that because on Wednesday I talked about overwhelm, and because I have a lot of clients facing that right now because I'm trying to finish my project, I'm trying to crowdfund, I'm trying to post it consistently, and I talked about intimacy and intimacy in the 3 different ways. Intimacy with the details of your time and finances and all that. Then there's intimacy with yourself and why you're doing it, right? Who you are in this process, no matter what's happening. And then there's intimacy with other people in your life, asking for support, all these things. So it's not sexual intimacy. It's like literally intimacy with the details of your journey, of who, why you're doing it, like you said, and who you are in that process. Isn't it both? Like it's why, and it's like who I am when I live out my why is a much better person than who I am when I live out my fears. Ooh.
Yes. That was a mic
That
drop.
was good.
Yeah. That was a mic drop.
That was a mic drop right there. And I want to live in the Jessica that remembers her why, that literally it comes from like the inside of you, right? When you are so intimate with that why, it just drives you. So consistency in social media is just an extension of that, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. For me, I mean, you may have a different mission in this lifetime, and maybe it has to do with your relationships, your family, and less business related. Or maybe you're more of a behind the scenes supporter of inside of business. But if you are an artist or a musician of pretty much any kind, then I mean, from my perspective, you are a divine channel for divinity to flow through you to give art to world.
Yes.
Like this is the point. And if that is the point, then there has to be a channel. So you are the channel for the art, but then there has to be another channel for the delivery of the art. And so,
Yes.
so you're God or divinity or whatever, you're that channel. But then social media is your channel to get the art from there through you and out. And so
Love that.
back in the day, you had to have a manager, a label, an agent, a producer, like some other entity was that channel. But thankfully, I mean, how amazing is it that you don't need that gatekeeper anymore? And in fact,
Right.
you have got a clear channel right here to distribute your art to the world. Like, holy moly. So when I think about
beautiful.
my mission, it's like, hello, there is nothing more important than bringing what I'm here to do and sharing it. Like there is nothing more important. But if you've got a whole bunch of mindset stuff in the way, like I'm not good enough, this isn't really divinely given, I'm like it's all ego driven, then you need help. You need a coach, you need to do the inner work, you need to do the personal development, and that's why there's at least a little bit of personal development mindset work in pretty much everything that I put out course-wise.
Me too.
It's just foundation. But like, wow, how amazing is it that we can bring our art, we can gift the world with our art. Like, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We get to shift the conversation to thank you for social media. Thank you for this channel that I love how you said that to bring to people. I mean, there is an artist who might stay in the closet and just do it for their own enjoyment. I have no problem with that. I think that's beautiful, and you should do that if that is what your calling is, to just soak in the art. But a lot of artists in my community, at least, feel called to share. And when you start accepting the channels that are given, right? Or just like blessing them, like, thank you. Thank you for being social media. There's a different type of show up for me, at least. I was like, wow, I get to go live today versus like, oh my gosh, I'm in my robe, I don't really want to go live. I think I have those moments too, let's just be honest. I don't really want to do it. But then your calling and your why is so big, right? And like I said, I am such a better person when I live in that why than when I live in my fears. It's just,
And then
it's
also
different.
one more plug. On those days when you're in your pajamas and your why is saying, it's time to be on social media, but you're like, yeah, and I'm in my pajamas, that's when you can lean into some of those
Yes.
faceless templates on Real Magic, and you're good to go. You can be in your pajamas and still consistent.
I love it. Yes. Yes. Actually, that's what I did for the past few days. I actually so something happened to my social media girl. I was very busy. It was just a really crazy week. And because I had your memes, your meme reels, Fiona, I had something going out every day, but it's only because of you. This week was literally crazy, right, Clara? Shout out to Clara. Helping me with social media. It was literally crazy for both of us. So you were such a lifesaver because you put those templates together for me. Yeah, Clara's like very crazy. So I love that. There's so much comfort in that. What anything else, guys? If you have questions for Fiona of how you guys can have consistency in your social media presence, or anything like that, go ahead. Last chance, put it in the post. Otherwise, what are your closing words for our audience, Fiona?
This is how I love to close out pretty much everything. Go out into the world and shine your light. You have a voice, you deserve to be heard, and the world deserves to hear you.
Love it.
Now we should probably
Okay, guys, did you hear that?
say comment magic one more time.
Ah, good idea. Good idea. I was just saying hi to everyone. People were saying hi in the chat. Guys, if you want access to Fiona's Real Magic Toolkit, if you're in, those days when you're in your pajamas and you got termites and bed bugs suddenly came in the house and all the crazy things that could happen to you, and you just need to do your reel for the day, Fiona's Toolkit Real Magic will help you grow your audience in your pajamas. I mean, that's a cool visual right there. I'm all about the robe life. In your pajamas, in your robe, the days you don't feel like creating, she's got your back. It'll take 5 minutes, and then boom, you got a post. So comment magic, if that is you want to make that a reality, like you want to make your lazy days productive days, I know that would be awesome. More efficient, more fun, more easy breezy, and just be in your flow of creativity. Use your time for the things that you really want to use it for, right? Instead of social media. If you really truly don't like to create on social media every day, you don't have to with Fiona's Real Magic. So comment magic in the chat if that's something that you want some info on. Clara is putting if for those of you who are joining on IG and you want to come over to YouTube, Claire's putting that in the chat. But we will be posting the replay as well. This goes until tomorrow, Saturday. So definitely put magic in the chat if you're watching the replay before Saturday, so that we can get you all the info. And then Fiona is adding that meme bonus. I'm so excited about that. So guys, put that in the chat. Congratulations, Sharon. She's signed up. And let me know if you guys have questions. Otherwise, thank you so much, Fiona, for joining. That was some amazing mic drop moments today, for sure. And thank you so much for just pouring into my community with your heart, your soul, your wisdom, all of that. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.